In our village, my name is Kizza, and for years, my story was one of silent suffering. My wife, Nalwanga, was a woman whose pride was as vast as the sky. We had been married for 5 long years, and every month that passed without the cry of a baby, her words grew sharper, her blame more pointed. She declared to everyone who would listen that I was the reason our home was empty, that I was less of a man. Her family echoed her accusations, their whispers following me like a shadow. I loved her, so I endured the humiliation, hoping that one day a miracle would silence the gossip. But miracles were in short supply. One evening, after another bitter argument, she packed her bags. The divorce was swift and brutal. I was left with nothing but a broken heart and a reputation stained by lies. Homeless and defeated, I sought refuge with my old friend Kizza. He saw the despair in my eyes and didn't ask questions. Instead, he gave me a place to sleep and a shoulder to lean on. He was the one who gently suggested I see a doctor, just to know the truth for myself. I was terrified, but the need to know was stronger than my fear. I scraped together what little money I had and went to a clinic in the city. The results came back a week later. I sat in the doctor's office, my hands trembling as he read the report. The words he spoke felt like the sun breaking through a storm. Said I was perfectly healthy, fully capable of fathering children. For the first time in years, I felt a weight lift from my soul. It wasn't relief, it was vindication. The pain was still there, but now it was mixed with a simmering anger at the injustice I had suffered. With this newfound clarity, I knew I couldn't wallow in self-pity. Kizza, ever the practical friend, suggested I use my one true talent, cooking. My mother had taught me how to make the best Rolex in our region, delicious wrap of chapati and fried eggs. With a small loan from Kizza, I set up a simple food stall by the main road. The first few weeks were slow, but word of my tasty Rolex began to spread. People loved the fresh ingredients and the special spice mix my mother had taught me. Soon, a line of customers would form every evening. I poured all my energy into my little business. The rhythmic sizzle of eggs on the pan became the soundtrack to my healing. I was no longer just Kizza the Barren man. I was Kizza the Rolex master. I was building a new life, one chapati at a time. One busy afternoon, a woman with the kindest eyes I had ever seen ordered a Rolex. Her name was Emmy. She had a gentle smile that reached her eyes and a laugh that sounded like music. She became a regular customer, and our small talk soon blossomed into long conversations. I found myself looking forward to her visits more than anything else. I told her my story, the whole painful saga with Nalwanga. She listened without judgment, her compassion a soothing balm on my old wounds. With Emmy, I felt seen and valued for who I was, not for what I could or couldn't provide. Falling in love with her was as natural as breathing. She loved me back, and a year later, we were married in a small, joyful ceremony surrounded by our closest friends. Our happiness was already immeasurable, but then, life gave us the most incredible gift. Emmy was pregnant, not just with 1 child, but with 3. Triplets. The news was overwhelming in the best possible way. The 9 months were a whirlwind of excitement and preparation. My Rolex stall was thriving, and I was able to provide a comfortable and loving home for my growing family. When our 3 beautiful babies were born to boys and a girl, I held them in my arms and wept tears of pure joy. I looked at Emmy, her face radiant with love, and I knew I had found my true purpose. I was a husband and a father. My life was full, my heart overflowing. The ghosts of my past seemed to fade into a distant memory. One day, an invitation arrived. It was for Nalwanga's wedding. She was marrying a wealthy, older man from a neighboring town. My first instinct was to throw it away, to ignore it completely. But Emmy, with her quiet wisdom, saw it differently. She said, "This is not about her. This is about you. We have nothing to be ashamed of. Let's go and show them the beautiful life we've built." So, with our 3 precious babies, dressed in their finest clothes, we went to the wedding. The venue was extravagant, a stark contrast to our simple life. As we entered, a hush fell over the crowd. People stared, their eyes wide with shock, as they looked from me to the 3 identical babies in our arms. Whispers erupted like wildfire. The ceremony was underway, but the focus was no longer on the bride and groom. All eyes were on my family. I saw Nwanga's face. Her proud smile faltered, replaced by a look of utter confusion. Her new husband looked irritated by the disruption. During a lull in the proceedings, an old village elder, unable to contain his curiosity, approached us. He asked loudly for all to hear, "Kizza, are these your children?" I stood tall, my arm around Emmy, and said with a clear, steady voice, "Yes, these are my children, my 3 beautiful children." The collective gasp from the guests was audible. The truth, undeniable and alive in the form of my babies, was finally revealed. The narrative Nwanga had so carefully constructed for years crumbled in an instant. Nwanga's face was a storm of emotions: shock, disbelief, and finally a dawning, horrifying realization. Her new husband, seeing the drama unfold and realizing the implications, looked at her with fury. Their perfect wedding had turned into a public spectacle of her lies. I saw her mother and father shrinking into the crowd, their faces flushed with shame. They had been so quick to condemn me, and now the truth had come back to haunt them all. In that moment, I felt no triumph, no desire for revenge. I only felt a profound sense of peace. The chapter was finally, truly closed. We didn't stay long. We quietly slipped away from the chaos, leaving the whispers and the shattered pride behind us. As we walked back home under the setting sun, with our babies cooing softly, I looked at Emmy. She smiled at me, that same kind smile that had captured my heart from the very beginning. My journey had been long and painful, but it had led me here, to this perfect moment of redemption and love. I had lost a wife who saw me as a failure, but I had gained a family that saw me as their world. Sometimes the most painful endings are just the beginning of your true story. For me, life had just begun.